Hello to you and many thanks as usual for joining us on the What's Trending. I am Moses Omoghena. So, it's about 48 hours to the presidential election day. And yeah, believe me when I say the clock is ticking. Anxieties are rising and concerns for who will be the next leader of Africa's most important nation. So, it appears to be another democratic era in Nigeria, and election preparations are in full gear as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, looks forward to giving Nigerians the most credible, peaceful, free and fair elections. We hope. Now, meanwhile, social media has been flooded with various hashtags like the hashtag Nigeria Decides, hashtag Before You Cast Your Vote, hashtag No Violence, and hashtag Nigeria Elections, amongst others. Comments and reactions with these hashtags show that Nigerians are fully ready to choose a leader. But not just any leader, a leader who would solve Nigeria's political, social, economic and religious problems. So, on What's Trending today, we will be looking at issues and matters arising for the glorious Saturday. And most importantly, can INEC truly deliver a credible and violence-free election? I will definitely not be having this discussion alone. Mr. Olukayode Salako, the National Coordinator for Change Agents of Nigeria Network, CANN, will be joining me in the studio to discuss this. As a matter of fact, today's trends is strictly for the elections. Stay with us. Okay, welcome back. You're still on the What's Trending segment. And as I promised earlier, I will be having a very, what I will call a sensational guest, Mr. Olukayode Salako. He's the coordinator of Change Agents of Nigeria Network, CANN. That sounds like CNN.
Yes, can with double N.
All right. Glad to have you, sir.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Good afternoon.
Right. Yeah. So now, first things first, one of the major concerns about the election is the issue of violence.
You're right. You're
violence,
correct.
not just during the elections, but even after the elections. Do you foresee a violence-free election coming against Saturday?
Well, if I say I foresee it, I might be deceiving myself, because there is this unwarranted desperation on the side of one of the political parties who also doubles as a ruling party. The desperation has been manifest around them. And I think it all boils down to the fact that they have been in power since the inception of this democratic regime. They've been in power for about 16 years, and they feel slighted. They feel it's going to be an embarrassment or a disgrace for one opposition party that was formed a few months ago, or maybe a few years ago, to just come in like that and sweep them away. So we have seen a lot of tactics, a lot of desperative tactics that have been employed in the past few months. They come out with different types of accusations, strategies, plots and all of that. Just either to one, make sure that the presidential candidate of the main opposition party in Nigeria is disqualified, or the structure of the present INEC is dismantled. So, if I tell you that it's going to be a violent-free, I might be deceiving myself.
Now, when you say violence or desperation, do you necessarily think that the act of violence or the urge to make insightful actions should it necessarily be tallied with the party as opposed to the individuals who are guilty or culprits of this act?
Yes, thank you. Every party has spokespersons. Unfortunately for us in this regard, it is the key players, the key spokespersons in the ruling parties that have been the actors, the promoter of some of these 8 species statement and all of that. We've seen the way they've been talking. We've seen the way they've been promoting military groups, empowering them. You know, it is strange that we now see OPC, we now see MASOP, you know, deviating from their set objectives to campaigning for the incumbent president. We now see someone like Gani Adams, who is supposed to be on the interest of the Yoruba interest, who is supposed to be aligning with the Yoruba interest, now becoming the emergency spokesperson of Mr. President. We now see the MASOP that has been agitating for secession for so many years, now speaking and acting in favor of the incumbent president. We now know that the president has been empowering them financially. He has been empowering them morally. He has been empowering them presidentially. That's what we call federal might. You know, this acronym, federal might.
Okay.
We now see some of these things play out. Let us compare and contrast the APC that all of us know today and the PDP all of us know today and the other political parties we all know today, who has been promoting statements and 8 speeches, 8 advertisement documentaries on AIT and co, that can always incite people to always want to go violent if the result does not, if at the end of the day the result does not go their way or swing their way.
Let me drag you back to the reason or the fear, the cause of fear among Nigerians. Nigerians are worried, are concerned about the elections.
That's right.
What do you think could be, or what do you think we could attribute this cause of fear, bearing in mind what happened in 2011? I mean, lives and properties were lost.
Yes.
And we knew, we saw the outcome of that. Now, what do you think we should attribute that cause or reason for fear? Or are there other reasons that we are not looking at really?
Well, you see, let me start from the situation in the north. Since when I was a small boy, I have grown to know that the northern region of Nigeria has always been a volatile place. So in the north, any little thing can trigger violence. Not even on the issue of politics, religion, economic, anything. Because the tradition in the north is the tradition of what their leaders say. What their leaders say, where their leaders want them to go. The southern people of Nigeria are not known to being that robotic, being that stereotype to the instructions of their leaders. For example, in Yoruba land, you can easily tell people to go out and fight and start causing trouble like that, except the miscreants, those who are already frustrated, those boys who are already hopeless, who already feel well, life no longer means anything to them. They are always willing. But what we now see is even responsible Nigerians, even professionals, people who have jobs, everybody is just suddenly going the way of the interest of a leader, and that is the incumbent president. And I've always said it, that you see, any country where you see professionals, people who have jobs, people who are gainfully employed, abandoning their professions to be following politicians about, for everybody to be going into politics, for everybody to be developing interest in going into politics, that is an indication of a failed system.
Now let's talk about matters arising.
Okay.
Only 2 days ago, the Federal High Court placed a ban on deployment of the military for the election.
That's right.
I mean, by virtue of that, we're left with the police and maybe the SSS to ensure security. How do you see that? How did you react when you heard that? Especially in the Northeast, for example, where we need a very strong military presence. How do you see that? Are we not adding salt to injury or shooting ourselves in the foot?
The Inspector General of Police ought to know that certain directives are beyond the stipulation of his office, powers of his office. He should have left that to the chairman of INEC, who is the umpire here, who is the man that is at the ends of affair, the main man conducting the election, who appointed the Inspector General of Police. Who is he serving? Of whose interest is he there? Who appointed everybody? Still the incumbent president. So some of the actions of some of our public officials, government officials.
Although the federal court argued that deployment of soldiers for the election is unconstitutional.
It is. We all know that.
At the same time, the president, who is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, is obliged to deploy the military to maintain law and order. So when you weigh those two options,
the powers of the president is limited. That is why we have the Nigerian Parliament. We have the lawmakers. You see, in the Constitution, in as much as the president has the power to deploy military soldiers, it is limited. The Constitution says the president can only do that if the country is in a state of war. So the only area where we expect the president to be thinking of deploying the military is in the northeastern part of Nigeria, where everybody knows that is in the state of war.
Among the two major political contestants, Muhammadu Buhari and Goodluck Jonathan,
yes,
do you think either of them would lose honorably if the polls don't go in their favor?
Everything INEC introduces, they come out to reject it. They come out to find fault in it. So with that, it is giving me that impression that even if the incumbent, the ruling power, loses on Saturday, they might not want to lose without fighting back. And for the opposition,
what does fighting back mean here?
Fighting back means rejecting the result. Because already, I feel a lot of military groups around the country have been put on the standby to cause trouble.
Okay, so if fighting back means, doing things constitutionally, seeking redress at the court of law,
that is if they will do it constitutionally.
I'm hoping that will be a welcomed idea.
That is also what I pray for. But in a situation whereby the INEC announces the results, and some of these military groups that have been empowered troop to the streets and start causing MMMs, then there's going to be a big problem.
We hope that will not happen.
I hope that too.
On a final note, what do you think Nigerians are looking out for or should be looking out for in Goodluck or Buhari before they cast their votes?
Nigerians should think, reflect. First, use their brains to think, and go with that resolution, with that decision, for their life to change for the better.
Although the change
on Saturday, to vote for what is right.
The change that you talk about, some stakeholders will argue that it is really a benefit of the doubt relative to the present reality that we face today. It is not a guarantee that the change or the opposition might necessarily do better than the present government.
Yes, it is unintelligent to be condemning what you have not tried. Try it first. When it disappoints you, you still have your power after 4 years to vote it out. All Nigeria needs is a man that is disciplined, a man that has the wisdom, experience, and political will to do what is right, to select the best set of Nigerians to handle the affairs of governance in Nigeria. And that is what the change revolution promises Nigerians.
All right, I'm afraid this is where we can go. The producers are already telling me the time is up. I have been speaking with Mr. Olukayode Salako. He's the coordinator of the Change Agent Networks of Nigeria.
Networks.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me in your
and
studio.
Subsequently, we hope we can call on you again. All right, haven't had that chat time with Mr. Kayode. Let's have a look at what the online community is saying. A tweet from Obi Ezekwesili says, "The eyes of the world is on Nigeria as we run up to our elections. We all better choose to disappoint those waiting to say, ah, Nigeria." And Fumi Yonda says, "The only way Nigeria will win Saturday's election is for Nigerians to relentlessly police whomever wins." I think that's a valid point there. And the Godfather at Ayob says, "Let them not test our resolve to hold a free, fair and credible elections. The eyes of the world is upon Nigeria. Election must hold." And well, so you've been hearing a lot of the comment and the tweets and people there anticipating for peace, for free and fair elections. As we have here, that's actually one of the the reasons, the product of controversies for the INEC election, the smart card reader. Well, a lot of people are still ignorant on how this card reader works, but not to worry. Tomorrow, we'll be giving you a very first-hand detailed info on just exactly how this machine works. So, we've come to the end of the What's Trending. Don't forget to let us know what you're talking about using the hashtag TVC Nigeria. And of course, Twitter handle to always follow is at TVC Nigeria. I'm Moses Omoghena. I'll be seeing you next time. Farewell.